Female genital mutilation. Yes, female genital mutilation. That's what we're going to talk about today. I would like to persuade you to learn about this. You can look it up online for more vivid pictures, which I will not share with you today, and persuade you to become involved, knowledgeable, and consider helping out where you can. Female genital mutilation is also called cutting. It is frequently done in Africa in tribal communities and even in France. And it is done by the tribes that for some reason believe that this will keep their women pure and keep them from having extramarital affairs. The Women's Health Organization and the World Health Organization both state that there is no evidence of any medical benefit to have this done to women at all whatsoever. The process that occurs, unfortunately, is that women are held down against their will without any pain medication, and they are forcibly having their genitals removed. They will cut off their clitoris in stage 1, as far as removing their labial lips and sewing them closed as a stage 3. Those can all be outlined on Google if you want to look anything up about that. These women are later having to be reopened in order to have marital sex and to have their children. It is not done in a clean environment, and it is not done with clean tools. Women are held down in a row, and the cutter, as they are known, come along using the same instrument from one girl to the next, and they are not given pain meds, and they do not have antibiotics. So up to a third of these girls are dying in certain areas simply from infection because they do not have antibiotics to care for them. This is barbaric treatment of women. We do not deserve to be held down and have our parts removed. Some people would describe it as genital genocide. It is a very poor way to treat our women, and they are having difficulties with the rest of their life with PTSD from this being done to them, from being held down against their will, and they're having difficulties even having their menses because this opening that's left is so small they can barely even pass the fluids on their monthly cycles. They have difficulty having children because they cannot pass through the birth canal, and babies are being stuck in that canal and are actually dying and while they're attempting to get these women open and get their children out. So this is something that you can learn about and take a stand on. You can help support people when you hear about it, because we do have them even here in our community. I was informed that yesterday we had a lady that had this done here in our emergency room in the Quad Cities. So it is happening, it is around us, and I need you to be aware of these things. What can we do besides learning and supporting them? We can become more knowledgeable in the fact that this is on the rise in the U.S. Newsweek in February 2015 reported that female genital mutilation is on the rise and that African immigration is doubling every decade. So every decade there's more and more people coming into our country that is having this done and coming here, and we are left to deal with it, or they may be sending their women back to that country to have it done and coming back into our country. So we need to be aware and know that it is not legal in our country to have this done, and authorities could be called. In February 2016, the New York Times reported in their magazine on an article titled "It's Genital Genocide." It tells the story of a survivor that had her cut done the same day as her sister, and what happened with her sister and what she had to go through. So these are things that I encourage you to read about, learn about, look up, be involved in, support women in our community. Do not allow these things to happen. You can look for places that you can donate. One that I would like to recommend is clitoraid.org. This is a special hospital that they have set up in Africa to help women that have been victimized in this sense. And they are able to bring the nerve for the clitoris back to the surface to give them some sense of pleasure in that area. And that is at clitoraid.org. And they would take donations, so you could help in that way for women that have been affected, so you can donate there. Otherwise, be supportive and learn and be aware of what's going on around you, and do not let this happen to our girls. And ask more questions for the Africans and Somalians in our area. Thank you.